All right, good day, everyone. So let's go ahead and pick up from where we have left out last meeting. So last meeting, what we did is we updated our home view, katong the template that will load whenever you actually access the site. So yesterday we covered about how to be able to show your blogs with contents being redacted, and then how to make use of the title of the blog so that you can go ahead and click on it, and then after clicking on it you'll be able to see the contents of the blog. So that's where we left at. So right now, what I'm gonna go ahead and cover is on how to be able to create an interface that would allow us to input the blog content using our application. Because yesterday, what we just did is kung ano to tong gibuhat no yesterday, what we did is we inserted the blog contents using our database. So right now, our goal is to be able to create that user interface and program as well, so that we will be able to insert content to our database, and in return the database will be able to also plug in the content to our homepage. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and go to admin, and obviously this should push me to log into the system because that's how it's being set up. All right. So, because we've set up everything, so nahitabuan ni is that the logout is there, the dashboard is there, all right? We've set this up already. So, ngaton lang buhaton is how do we go ahead and basically gitawag na to create, right, a page that would allow us to go ahead and create some blogs. All right. So right now we have our dashboard here. Of course, nothing would actually take effect when you click that because you're just clicking really the home page. But our goal is to be able to actually allow our program that when we click on the blogs, it will redirect us to the blogs so that we could actually work on it. All right. So right now, if you could notice, it's saying 404 because we have not declared this particular route. What's the route? The route is admin slash blogs. We have not, wala pa na nato siya declare. So the first thing that we would need to do first here is to go ahead and go to web and basically declare the admin blogs, right? So I actually hope that is very clear to everyone. So right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just copy, right, and then paste, and then I'll just add in the blogs. Okay. So if you could notice in here, the first entry for the admin, we named that as index, right? But we all know that a blog is another feature in admin. So what's going to happen now is that instead of using just admin, what have you, we'll just go ahead and add another say tawag na to ani murag category under admin, because this is a feature in admin, so it should start with admin. This is just gitawag na to nga standard naming or naming conventions para dito maglibog, no? So I'm just gonna go ahead and name that as admin and then blogs that index. So that's the reason why I placed that on a separate line. Pero pwede na ko na siya yung ana, no? Ako lang siyang gilahi so that makita na to ang difference, and so that the admin will be alone and then we'll have home controller as a separate. But we will go ahead and actually modify that because we have not created a controller yet. Though we were able to create a blog controller before, but that blog controller is actually gitawag na to nga outside of gitawag na to nga admin. All right? No. So Okay, so you have two options here. It's either that you can go ahead and use the blog controller, which is right here, or we could also go ahead and create another blog controller. So ani na lang, by dito maglibog kay ano daghan na kayong blog controller, we will just utilize. But you know what? We need to actually murag need jud ta nga mag open siya because we can no longer use the blog control because the blog control here does not require logins. Okay, obviously, what we want is that for us to be able to add a blog, it should only be allowed if and only if we're able to log in. But if we will create the blog entry here, there's no middleware that would control. So we cannot use this. So nahug na lang ni siya nga this is actually um, gitawag na to nga um, shall I say kanang say nga nani murag mo ni ang public nga blog controller. So ano ang mahitabo karon? Considering that we need to create one that's solely focused on the blog for admin, ang mahitabo ani is we'll go ahead and create another controller. All right? But this one will name that as admin blog controller so that mabutangan nato siya restriction nga kini nga controller can only be executed by those who logged in on the system because right now kining blog controller nito karon this is something that's used by public, meaning any one can access this, and that's something that we don't want to happen. All right, so ang atong huna-huna or buhaton na ni karon is we'll go ahead and create a controller. So we already have a blog controller here nga atong i-create previously. So ako na lang buhaton is I'll name that as admin blog controller. Right? So there. Right. So the admin blog controller has been created. All right, but it does not have any contents yet. Now, here's what's going to happen. Because we wish or we would want that our admin blog controller can only be executed by those people who logged in, what we would need to do is we will go ahead and copy this particular code, the construct. If this is in Java, this would have been the constructor. So just copy it. Pero ang difference no kay ang constructor sa Java, the name of the method and the name of the class are the same. But in PHP, it's different. We don't need to really copy the name. All you have to do is make use of the underscore construct. So, para madali, kopyaan na lang na siya. Now, para asa man day na siya, no? Kini nga particular construct nga doon na yung auth. Basta na ganining this middleware auth, that means to say that this particular controller can only be accessed by people who are able to log in. So that means to say, if you're not able to log in, you cannot use this particular nga controller. So meaning, kung muadto ka sa admin/blogs and this is the controller that we will use for that particular route, that particular route will result to an access error. And I'll try to show that later. All right. So right now, we'll go back to the web here and then we'll try to change because it's supposed to be admin blog controller already. All right. So admin blog controller. Okay. So, let's just delete this para dito maglibog. Nya pang close na itong uban de depita. And then we'll go back here to admin blog controller. So obviously because you want to display no kung admin ka, of course nag-ato mo sa admin manggawas tanan nimong blog. All right? Manggawas nimo tanang blog and then from there you will have the option to basically display um not display but the option to add no a blog content. So let's go ahead and create, right, the index first. Create na tong index because this is what was stipulated, no? Nga ato sa blog controller, kung mutawag tag admin blogs, kay si index ang iyang i-load. So that's the reason why we created oh, function index. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, unsa may gusto na akong mahitabo? Actually, same ra ni siya code sa blog controller. That is to call the blog and call the all. Alright? So, the same ra na siya. Okay? And then, even before you can go ahead and try to proceed with typing, you can go ahead and do data dumping to see if there is a code or the code is correct, or if the um the variable that you have created contains data. So let's try to refresh this and see if it's going to provide us with the code. All right. So it's giving us an error now that the class blog is not actually available. So what's going to happen here is that we'll need to make sure that we'll have that added. All right. So just like in gitawag na to og blog controller, if you could notice, we need to make use of the blog nga model. So it's either you copy that or pwede rin po ka mo dito og add nga use app, say under sa app models, and then under sa models kay blog, and then the semicolon. So if you save that and you go back here, that error is expected to be gone. And the same thing that we were able to encounter yesterday, makita na to nga na siya duha ka entry for the blog. That's the first blog and the second blog. All right. So that means to say we are now assured that there is a data, so you can just eliminate that. Now, so what happens now is that when you go back here and do some refresh, right, you are under blogs, but you are not able to see anything. That is because you have not created the blade yet. So our next goal is to be able to create the blade. Unsa man nga blade siya karon? 'Di ba? Currently the blade that we're using is actually the admin home, no? Nate admin home. All right. Now, 'di ba si blogs kay under ni admin, so that dili na po ka maglibog, no? Para dili daghan, what you can do go ahead and do is just, click on folder, and then new folder, and then create a folder blogs. All right, so that you can go ahead and create another one here. Let's name that as home blade that php. So atong buhaton lang ani is kopyaon na nato si home. Nga ato siyang i-paste diya dapita. All right. So ato ni i-change ang yang title. So nahog na ni siya nga blogs. Dashboard man to ganhina, no? So blogs na siya karon, so that we will go ahead and proceed with creating our contents in here. Right, so but before we'll try to refresh that, what we would need to do is to actually go to admin blog controller, and then from here we'll do return view. Okay, view muna siya, meaning we need to stipulate what blade are we trying to display here. So we've created that blade a while ago that is under admin and then blogs and then home. So that is admin dot blogs and then home. All right, and obviously we would need to send the data. So let's do comma, and then we have the array here. We'll go ahead and make use of blogs, and then the assignment statement, the pointer assignment, and then let's throw in the blogs variable, and then of course semicolon. So let's try to refresh this page and see kung na-display na ba siya. So if you could notice, we're here in dashboard. We go to blogs. We are not actually still in dashboard. We're already moving to the blogs. All right. So that means to say that we have successfully went over with the blogs page, no longer the dashboard. So our goal here is to be able to display a table of all those blogs nga atong gi-create, no? So that we could also add an add button. The question is, how do we go ahead and do that? No, kaya para nindot na siya, what we would need to do is we'll go to admin LTE. Ato ta ni admin LTE kay para makita na to ang mga unsay tawag na to ani, makita na to ang mga additional features that we could go ahead and use. Di ba tong gusto is we'll be able to display a table, but obviously what we would want to see is that we want to see a card, no? Kaya bitaw muraging ani nga murag na murag card nga na display pa. So let's just check asa murag nindot there dapita. So murag nindot ni siya, no? Alright? So atong tanawon ani is giunsa pag-create kana siya nga porma. So giunsa nga naka-add siya og card. So what I would always do para madali kay pangitaon ako si Jonathan Burke, no? Kini si Jonathan Burke. Ako siyang i-control find para dali na ko na siya makitaan. Alright. So if you could notice in here, what happened is that there is actually a card, no? It makes use of a card. So what I will do is I will also make use of the card there. Then I will go to the home blogs. All right, and then I actually don't need this anymore. So I have the div there. And let's say I'll make use of a paragraph. Whew. So I'll try to save, and then I will refresh to my blogs here. Say mahitabo. Alright, so if you could notice, naa siya mura gitawag na to nga placeholder of a content. So that means to say, we can go ahead and insert the contents right inside card for us to be able to display the contents. Now, aside from that, na naman tay card. So what we will need to do is to actually know how to make use of tables. So we'll go to simple tables, and from here you can go ahead and select, no, kung unsay pwede nimo gamiton diri rapita. Alright, so ganahan ba ka nga ingani og porma? Unya ra ta aning ubos kay this requires JavaScript nya pwede ta maglibog, unya ra ta mag-add mga JavaScript. Alright, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and just try to search that now, bordered table. Alright, go to page source and I try to find that. What you will see is that we have actually a gitawag na to, di ba natay card ganhina, no? Natay card, nya do na siya header, pero kanang header actually dili na siya importante, but if you wish to go ahead and do that, you can. But normally if you're using it as a body, mura bitog body siya, you don't put in the card header because there's already a header on top that we have created. So you can just go ahead and proceed with the body. So you can do card body, and we will just copy right up here. Nya kanang card footer dili na ganan na siya necessary. Right? So dili na siya butangan kay pwede ta maglibog. Ang simple lagi atong kopyaon ani para dili tadaghan og mga gitawag na to ng mga changes. So I'll go ahead and put that inside card here, and then I'll just make modifications para madali ko Ang akong buhaton ani kay delito na ko ang second entry, so TR padong sa ubos hangtod sa last nga TR before sa body, kay we don't really need a lot, no? So ang gibuhat ani karon is I'll do some indentions, right? So gikan sa ubos padong diha, indent, kay dapat under man siya sa card, right? And then kini sa table kay under po ni siya sa card body. Si T head pa daw ni T body kay under po na sila. Unya si TR under po na siya ni T head, right? Unya kini si TR under po ni siya ni T body. Alright. So what happens right now is that under the TR natay pila ka TD diri dapita. Natay mga tulo. Alright? And then sa usa ka TD here natay murag kuan. Actually dili siya ni required nato because we don't need that in the kanang code that we're gonna be doing. Because ato namang gusto diri dapita is makita na to ang blog ID, the title as well as the snippet, no? Okay, of course para mauna tong himuon nga basihan later should we wish to make a deletion or modification. But right now, itong goal ra gyud is to be able to display, no, the content so that afterwards we can go ahead and create a button that would allow us to make some insertion. Right, so kung ato na siyang i-save karon, what is expected to happen when we go back here is that nana na siya murag content. So nanatay murag gitawag na to nga contents relative to it. Okay. So we'll make modifications here. So like what I mentioned a while ago, it's most likely that we only need to have three because the title, sunod the body, I'm sorry, the ID, the title, and the body, right? Actually, the title is not necessary, but kung ganahan ka nga murag, I'm sorry, not the title, the ID, because normally it's being added by some, no, as a part of numbering. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete the last here for the label. So I can change this. You could name this as ID, and then title, and then this is the content. Okay. Alright. So, ang mahitabuan ni karon is this. This is actually the same as that of the body that we have created, no? Katong sa home. So, more likely kinira ang magbalik-balik. So, the first instance of the TR is your first blog. The second instance is the second blog. So, the same thing that we did, we'll go ahead and just call. Kay di ba? Pagtawag ani ni Homeblade using the admin here, if you could notice, na siya gilabay nga data nga blog. So that means to say, the array containing the blogs is already passed over to the Homeblade nga under sa blog admin. So what we'll do here is we'll do for each, alright, and we'll do blogs as blogs. So pares-parihas ra gid daw ni siya. Wala ni siya much of a difference. And then after the TR, we'll have the and for each. Ato na siya itab para doon na siya morag significance. Okay. So the same thing, we'll go ahead and call in the blog. And then kining one there, we'll open the opening and closing. And then kanang blog, ato na siyang gi-ID. Nganong gi-ID man na siya? ID na siya because that is how we created our model. So when you go to blog, or di siya makita di ano, but if you go to the table creation sa migration, you would see that you have the ID, the created, kanang timestamps. When you do timestamps, it would automatically create the created at and updated at, no? Makita ni nato siya diri sa atong database. Right? So natay ID, natay created at, updated at. So what we will need to do is go back here, and then gusto ka nga ID ang mo display dapita, Alright, sunod ang imong buhaton kay imo na siyang ilisan. Nya karon mahimo na siyang title. Nya diri dapita mahimo na siyang content. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. Unsay porma na niya no inig-load nato sa atong website or sa atong application. Alright. So you would notice nga na-display na siya pero bati kaayo kung daghang contents no. So the same thing sa atong gibuhat before, we actually don't need the content to be showing all the contents kay mapuno ang page. So we'll use the sub str. Alright, and then after the content, I'll put in a comma, put in 0. That means already I'll start with the first letter. And I will end up to the 150th, no, 50th nga letter or character. So that when I refresh that, wala kay siya ni occupy og space. Alright, murag taas ra man gani dahil siya, no? So, we can keep it at 50. Alright, so there. Okay. So we're able to display that already. Alright, nya. Kung ganahan na po ka nga ma-open na nimo iyang contents, pwede ra jud ayon no? Same ra na sa tong gibuhat before. Katong naa sa admin controller. Right? Kay kung nga ka, nga nun mag-create mo tag-usab sir. Kay para sa admin man niya siya nga facing. Katong atong gibuhat previously. Katong walay admin blogs kay para man to sa inyong guest. Alright. Okay, so in the event nga ganahan nimo balikon tong code nga gi-create, alright, unsa ra gyud buhaton? Katong inig-click nimo kay mo open siya. Anyway, dili sa nato buhaton kay anyway it's not really important. Kaya ang atong goal ra man gid diri is maka-create tag new no nga blog. Alright, so question is where shall we put the gitawag na to the button that would allow us to create a blog. So atong buhaton ani is we'll go back here, right? Para makahibaw tag unsa ay mga option for a table. All right. So if you could notice in here, wala kayo say content no kay mao man niyang original. So asya label there dapita, but if you could notice naa po'y option nga doon na siya murag content or na siya murag option sa right side nga naglutaw or na really naglutaw, it's aligned to the right. So ari ta pa do ni simple full width table. So simple full width kay para makita nato. So naog ta simple full width nga table. So if you could notice in here, right? Naa siya gigamit nga mga option, no? Ni gamit siya card tools. Unya iya din gamitan og header. So this time gamitan na nato siya sa header. Kopya una lang na nimo siya. So asa man ta kutob nga kopya diri dapita kining duha ka div padung ana ri duha ka div. Wait, pila ta ka opening diri? 1 2 1 2. Okay. So meaning alright, let's just actually copy and then let's make modifications later. But ito maglibog no, kopya ara na siya. And then ang atong buhaton is that we will put that right here before the card body. Alright, so na naman tay card, delete ton. Alright? And the same things nang gibuhat kay na, let's do some tabbings. Na natay header. Alright, so si header, anak na siya, niya si card tools, kay anak po na siya. Alright? Pero kining mga UL kay anak na siya ni card tools, si LI kay anak ni UL. However, wata man kinahanglan ng uban. Ang ato kinahanglan kay usa ra ka buok, no? Kay unsa ra may kinahanglan nato diri kato ra man create blog. Di ba? Ang create blog ra man nato nya. Kana ganing card title, we don't need that. But usahay we actually would need to ko ano, pili butang na to siya blog list. Pero rin murag char ginagmay. Blog list. So may mahitabuan na. Kung nanay murag blog list, Mura siya na label ba, no? Blog list. And then, ari na to makita tong button. So, ari to mag-create og button diri for gitawag na to nga create. Alright? So, that would be create new blog. Right? So, let's try to refresh ang forma niya. So, right now, it's like it's actually acting as a button, but it's not so clear. That is because it made use of a default, no? Mura siyag, sa tawag na to ana, kanang pagination siya nga style. Okay? So, mura siyag bati, no? Tanawon kuing ana kay dapat highlighted siya. So in the event that you're not kind of happy with how it's done, what we can do is we'll try to check hover table kung giunsa siya pag-create. Alright, kay di ba mura mo to siya input ra no. So pwede ra di ay og ilisan na nato siya nga input pero okay, yeah, murag kini ra no. So ato ra ni siyang kopyaon ra lang. Alright, and then we'll pass it over. Okay, murag bati ra gyud tong LI no. So kanang UL ilisan na siya. Ilisan to siya guard tools. Alright. But ang atong gusto buhaton diri is not kanang kuan man no siya, kanang singan ani. Kanang not really an input, but it's going to be the button in itself, no? So, ang kinahanglan na nato di ay dapita is that we have a float right para mupadong siya sa kilid. So, ang ato na lang buhaton ani is we'll just kanang control X that and we'll do a href. Alright? Nya. Ato sa na siya i-blanco. And then a nya pagkamatungan og create new blog. However, we will paste the class form control float right. Okay. And then we'll try to refresh that. So if you could notice, it becomes bigger. So let's try to add in. Let's change the class to button and then button primary. So para mahimo siyang blue ang color. Let's see if it's going to take effect. Okay. So because of what we did, no, we change katong form control float right. So kining float right mo ni siya yung murag command so that ang element is magpundo siya sa right side. Okay, ang normal is left alignment. So, mura raman siya link. I went ahead and added this code. Because of this code, this would allow me to kind of transform the href nga mura link into something that's looking as a button, right? So that means to say we're all good. We're able to create the button. So ang ato na lang buhaton is kung mo-click tag button asa siya padong. Alright? So kung mo-click og button asa siya padong. So that means to say we would need first to create the route. So ari sa na puta mag-create sa route. Ari na puta sa web routes. Okay. So atong buhaton ani is ato na lang ni siyang kopyaon. Unya kay nag-create man ka. So pwede ra po nagnganlan nimo og create no. So that means to say admin blogs create and then go ahead and name that as create and then create po na siya para di ka maglibog. Alright? So that means to say muadto siya sa link nga admin blogs create anya kung tawago na siya nga particular URL kay si create nga function ang iyang tawagon. Alright? And then ang route nga name niya is admin blogs nga create. So ang mahitabuan is we'll just copy that kay mo ni pinakadali the route name instead of the the particular URL. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'll proceed to the home blade of blogs, and then on the href I will add in the two opening. I'll type in route and then the double single quotation, and then I'll go to route nga admin blogs create. Pwede ra po na siya og ilisa na siya og ingana. Pwede ra na siya og admin blogs create. Kung unsa imong gingan sa web diri dapita, pwede maura na siya, pero kutino kadaghang forward slashes mo nang I would normally just make use of the route. Kaya nga naman, if you need to change, no? If you need to change the route, imo na siyang usbon de dapita, nya route ang imong gigamit. You don't need to worry kung doon na ba ma-affected nga naman. Ang route man imong gigamit niya. When you change this, automatically this is updated as well. Whereas kung kini ang imong gamiton and then you decided to name a different name, dako kay siyang trabahoon, no? But kung ang route ang imong gamiton, changing that would become easier because you can just make modifications there, and ang route anang particular route name imong gi-create will be auto adjusted for you. Mo na nga I would normally use the route name instead of the URL name. All right. So there's a reason why I created that. Okay. So right now, what we would need to do is we go back to the admin blog controller, and then we'll create, no? Okay, if you could notice on the web, no? Dapat doon naman tayo create kay mo ni murag mo control or mo execute. So dapat doon natin public, right, function create. Alright, so wala pa tayo buhaton di dapita. Nya atong buhaton ani is return view. Pero wala pa man ta ka-create, ato lang i-assume nga ato na siyang i-create. So that would be admin blogs nya. Create lang pod para why labad. Now na ba tayo ilabay? Wa tayo ilabay. Kay wa man tayo data kinahanglan ani mag-create man tag form, no? So ato na lang buhaton is para madali, ako nang kopyaon tanan. Right? Para sa blogs, mag-create ko new file that would be create based on how I name it in the controller. Create blade.php. Ako siya i-paste. Nya paghaman dire, ako na siya nganlan og blogs niya. Create a new blog. Alright. Dire pod, ikaw na ibahala na, pwede nyo pa-char-charan. Pwede kopya na po na mas babaw. Create a new blog. No? So, murag ingana. Para doon murag gitawag na ito nga labeling. Okay. So, right now, ang mahitabo ani, tangtangor na akong header because I don't need the header. I just need the card. Okay. So, kay para ma-create na ako siya, ang mahitabo ani karon is, ato na po sa admin LTE. Kay manginahalan man tag form, no? Manginhalan man tag form. So arita sa form, arita sa general elements. So murag mamili kag unsa may gusto nimo gamiton, no? Kay di ba on this particular nga program, what you just need is really the text field for the title as well as the text area for the contents of the blog. Kay di po siguro ka magamit og single liner nga input text for the blog body, no? So, mangita ka unsa may murag gusto nimo nga mahitabo diri dapita karon. So, right now murag ang nisibo ra gyud nga murag simple ra kayo sa imong pananaw is kining nasa quick example. So, I'll copy that link para dali siya mapangita, no? Go to view page source, and then look for that one, quick example. Alright. And then akong buhaton ani, kopyaon ako si form. Then ako maglabad-labad. Form raditso. Alright. Okay. So si form na siya dritso. And then I will go to here inside card and then paste it. Alright. So akong buhaton is I will tab that or indent that. So wait. Class. Okay, so apilo na ko si form. Alright? And then kana si form group sa password kay wa man ka manginahanglan na no kana pong check out, so pwede ra gina siya deleton. Alright, so nanubra pa mangani din na siya, pwede ra na siya deleton. Unya actually kung ato ni siyang tan-awon karon, wait, kay murag nindot ba nitong gipili? Naman siya sa ubos, no? Submit. Na siya sa ubos. So, pasagdiin na lang na siya. Alright. So, going here, na siya sa ubos. So, let's tab this. Kaya anak man na siya ni footer. Alright. And then, right now, we have the card body. Inside the card body, duha ra yun ang nakasulod diha. That is for the email address. So right now, we'll just name that as title. Ay wait, kay murag bati siya. Ay sakto na. Sakto ra ni siya. Okay. Abi na kog online ra siya. And then let's just change this as title kung unsay giname nato. Actually, it doesn't matter. But ato na siyang kopyaon kung unsay naa di adapita. Alright? So for that type, we'll make use of the text niya. Kanang class, pasagdiin na siya. Kanang ID, kung unsay title, mao lang po na gamita. Alright? Enter blog title. So this is the placeholder. So that when you save this, alright, and then you go to the blog, no? And then you decided to click on the create new blog, what's going to happen is that mo ni magawas. Alright? So you have that enter a blog title. So that's enter blog title. All right. Now, nadite murag kulang sa div, no? Div card form. Okay, muna na kulang sa div because that's supposed to be for the card body. The card body. So, dapat nakatab na siya. Naka na sila nakatab kay Paris. Para dito maglibog. Alright. So, the next thing that we're gonna go ahead and add is basically the content of your blog. So, atong buhaton na lang ani is ato na siyang kopyaon. No? Kopyaon na to siya. And then, ato siyang i-paste the pita. However, we'll change this. So, ato siyang himuon nga text area. Nya, tangtangan na lang na siya. Alright? And then you can leave the you change it here to content, and then content, enter blog content. However, the text area is different because we need to have a closing, right? So let's go ahead and take a look kung sa forma na niya dire. So blog content. Okay. So there. Nya kung ganahan ka nga naa siya'y daghan, no, or daghan siya nga rows nga available, what you can do is you can add butang tag rows of 10. For example, that means to say there are 10 lines na iyang size, no? Ni automatic siya saka. Alright. Okay, so 10 lines. But right now, there's something that's lacking because we were not able to create some names. So we'll need to create names. So we'll just copy title. And again, para ma-easy na siya kung unsay name ana sa field sa database, maura po na ikopya. So this is also content. Alright. So let's take a look. So, okay na siya. So, right now, what we would need to do is, diba normally, kung doon na kayo submit, doon na po kayo murag gitawag nga, let's try to change this to, instead of submit, let's change that to save. Doon na po kayo a way to actually cancel, no? Murag imo sigurong i-cancel ang imong buhaton. So, let's just copy that. Alright? and then this is just name that as cancel, or no, I'm sorry, name that as button. And then let's save this as cancel. Nya akong ganahan kay puti raman siya, so dili na ko siya primary, so ako na siyang i-default. But I want nga maglutaw siya sa pikas, so I'll add float right para kung mo click siya cancel, right? So there, that's the cancel. Okay. So, because this is a button, it would be very difficult for me to actually put in an href, but let's go ahead and put in an href and see if we can do it. So that if we can, then good. Kung dili, we'll go ahead and find another way to be able to make that as a link. So walay nahitabo. Okay, so it does not work that way. So atong buhaton is from button, we'll change that to A, and we'll also change that to A. You don't have to worry because the look will be the same considering that we're using the button nga class. So ang form or ang link ani is displayed like a button. So if you could notice in here, na-cancel siya, no? Or dunay link nga nigawa sa ubos. But what I want is that inig-click na ko anang cancel kay mo adto siya sa ako ang admin blogs index, meaning kung mo cancel ko ana, mo click ko cancel, mo balik ko sa blogs diri dapita. All right? So what I want to do then is to go ahead and arisa create, particularly on the href, I will go ahead and do or paste the route name. So that would be route admin blog index. Okay, so if I will try to refresh this, if I would click on cancel, it's going to back to the blogs. However, there's something that you would notice because when you click on create new blog, the blog is no longer highlighted. So the question is, how do we highlight it? All right. For you to be able to highlight it, you would need to go to admin LTE, right? And you proceed with looking up for the particular entry. No. So if you could notice, we have the blog admin blogs, right? However, we were not able to stipulate as to kanus siya ma-active. So we'll go ahead and add active. Alright, and this is supposed to be an array. So this is active if we are calling admin blogs. Alright, this will also be active if we are calling admin blogs create. Diba? We've created the create, no? Nga route. So let's go ahead and save that. Just end it with a semicolon, a comma. Actually, it doesn't matter. And then save that. All right. And then let's try to refresh and see if mablu ba ang blogs. All right. So right now, nablu ang blogs, meaning we are successful. Nga nang nablu man ang blog. Nablu ang blog, that's because we've added nga kung ang link gani is admin blogs or ang link is admin blogs create, ang admin nga menu will be highlighted or will be in an active state. All right? So that is how to make those things ready, no? Kung saan siya pagpa-ready para si tawag na to ana, mura na bitaw siya og ready na gyud, no? Particularly. Okay. Now, there's something that we actually need to add if ganahan ta nga mura bitag mo display ang error. Say for example, naka-click kag save nya wala kag butag title, no? All right? So it's important that we add that because that is for user friendliness of your application. So what we can do is you could type return error on validation Laravel so that we will be able to kanang kuano kanang singan ana validation error. Let's see. Katong sa blade lang. Na, tari dapita. So, sa blade. Laravel blade. Di po na siya mao. So, form. Butang na form. Kaya nanin siya mga suggestions, pero dili kaayo siya murag nindot ang display. So right now, if you could notice sa atong search karon no ay na siya gipakita no para makita dayo masingan ani para mo um has first name. Okay. So, di po kayo ganahan mo gamit ano. Ang akong ganahan nga gamiton actually is, let's see. Kaya daghang ways to actually show an error. Pangitaon sa nako tong murag normally gigamit nako to be able to stipulate an error. Alright. So, ani na lang itong tanawon, pero ito maglabad, no? Ato ta sa login. Login nga auth nga view because na siya murag sample dito dapita. So, for example, ari ko sa login. So, if you could notice in here, naa siya murag error. So, ako siyang kopyaon. Alright? Ako na siyang kopyaon. And then, muadto ko sa asa ba itong create blade, and then I place that right under basta before siya sa div. Okay, so akong buhaton ani is kung unsa ang name ako po na siyang i-paste, no? So dapat mo na mahitabo da dapita. Alright, and aside from that, asa ba itong login blade, napatay ko himuon, no? Kopyaon ni na tong at error, kutob diha dapita, and that's inside the class. Right? So, itong buhaton ani is that na naman tay class diri dapita, we'll just really put in a space and then paste that. So, again, kung unsa po'y name, title man ni, I'll put that there. Right, so nakita na to. Ingan na ka simple. So, again, copy. And then right after text area, I'll paste that there. And then what I would need to do is I'll change this from title, may mo siyang content. Kung unsay name, mo na akong basihan. Alright? And aside from that, I will copy the at error, padong diha. And then, on the second element here, I'll paste this in. But then, I'll change the title to something else. Okay. So that basically is the basics of it. Atong get ready so that whenever we are done basically or we're done clicking on the button, nya doon na error, then the error will be displayed as a notification on the page, no? Yeah, the good thing about this is that we don't really have to modify these things because this is done by Laravel. Now, the next thing that you would need to do is to make sure that you have placed in a method for your form. So, we'll do post. Why post? Because we're using a form, right? And we are submitting. So, this always post. Now, the second is the action. The action is kinsay mo process ana niya. Right. So, right now, wala pa tayo nahimo nga route ana niya. Kay kining route nga atong gi-create is para mo display raman ang form. Question is, kinsa ang mo process a form? So that is what we would need to actually create. So under web, I'm gonna go ahead and create another entry here. Alright. Pero I'll go ahead and basically mo ni ang function nga mo save sa data. Now accordingly, doon ay standard convention ng Laravel. Though, pwede ka magbuhat o bisan unsa, but according daw, as suggested, if you're trying to save a content, you use the store nga murag function name. And obviously, ang imong route is also store. Alright. But in our URL here, we will not use the store. So, tangtangon na nimong create. Alright? Tangtangon na nimo siya. Tangtangon pag mo siya. So, blog. So, if you could notice in here, same ra, no? Same ra si blogs nga index og si blogs nga store. However, dili gina siya mamahimo nga kanang similar kay di mo na siya allowed. But mag-differ na siya because when you created the create here, the method is actually post. So meaning, what we would need to do is instead of using the get, we'll use the post. Kay kining get, meaning ani, unya ni mo activate kung ma-change ang URL. Alright? But the post is that mo activate ni siya if you're on the URL and that you are using the method nga post. And post is done or used when you are submitting a form. Alright? So mo na murag explanation niya dapita. So unsa may mahitabuan ni karon? Ang mahitabuan ni karon is depende sa imong pag-setup. Pwede nga ini-create mo sa form, mo redirect ba siya sa edit para maka-modify ka dito. But ang akong gusto nga mahitabuan ni is that once I'm done creating the blog, mubalik siya sa index. Alright? Wala akong gusto nga mahitabo. Alright. So, mo na nahitabo din dapita karon. So, right now, I have the store. So, I will declare that under admin blog control. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy that. And then, I'll name that store. Alright. So, ang mahitabo ani karon kay nag-store man ta. Meaning, we have data from the form. Alright. Kaya naman tayo data sa form, we need to make sure nga ato siyang sauon. Kung doon natin data sa form, Laravel states that that data is stored in a request nga class. So that means to say, we'll just go ahead and type in request because that's a class. And then we create a variable and we'll name that as request. Alright, so if you could notice, request is automatically added, no? Daan na siya. Every time that you create a controller, the request is always added. So, rin mahitabo rin dapita karon no mahitabo is that si request, which is now being declared as variable request, will get those data from the form in create that blade. Alright? So, muna yung mahitabo diha dapita. Alright, so right now, ato sa na siyang pasagdaan, mubalik ta sa create blade. Okay, so unsa tong buhaton diri dapita para mugana? Kopyaon lang na nimo na yang route name. Alright? And then, ato ka sa create blade, ari na nimo siya ibutang sa action. So, sa action, ari nimo ibutang kinsay mo process. So, mo to nga mo gamit ni, double opening, closing, and then route, parenthesis, single quotation, and then paste. So, sa may tabuan kung inig-click sa save, iyang tawagon si route nga blog store, and that's the reason why kini nga function ang mo process niya. Alright. There. But we're not done yet because Laravel wants that whenever you are typing something on a form that is tokenized, or not really tokenized, kanang iya bitong gi-addan og safety net kay para kung unsa ray naa sa form mao ra gyud ma-save, meaning dili siya ma-insertan because if you will not create or make use of this safety net, there's a possibility nga title ra na siya o content pero kung dunay hacker pwede niya insertan og lain nga kanang information. So that's the reason why we would need to tell the form that it should be kanang liningan bitaw siya, mura siya butangan og security lining ang imong data. And that's the reason why you need to always put this code inside the form, the CSRF. Alright. So para asa ng CSRF, let's try to take a look. CSRF. Unsa din ang CSRF? This is cross-site request forgery. Is an attack that forces authenticated users to submit a request to a web application against which they are currently authenticated. All right. So CSRF is an exploit, and there's the reason why we are kind of adding the CSRF here so that our application is CSRF kanang prone. Not really prone. Asa man na siya? Kanang mura siya mura bitog naa niya say term ana nakalimot ko sa term para mura ba to kag CSRF proof, meaning dili siya madutlan og mga attacks relative to kana bitong illegal manipulation of data. Now, aside from that, we also need to add the method. Though we have created the method on top, but Laravel requires us that we do it. Kung unsa ra po nabutang sa ibabaw, mao ra po na siya. Post. Nanong post? Kay mao po na naa sa imuhang route. Kay inag-abot na to sa edit, inag-abot na to sa update, naabot to sa delete, naabot yung mga makita dito nga additional method, no? Alright? Pero right now, we'll just focus on the gitawag na to nga post. So right now, we'll just try to save it. Alright, so ato na lang mahita or buhaton diri dapita is we'll go ahead and do or create the code, right? That that would manipulate or that would handle the form request. Okay, so right now, what we will do is we'll try to dump the request. Tanaw na to kung unsay sulod ni request. Alright. Okay, so right now, we'll go back here. Alright, so test blog. And then, I'll click on save. So, dapat mo-activate to siya, no? Kaya ito mga data dump. So, tanawon na to kung unsay sulod niya diri dapita. So, arita sa request. Dito sa input bag. Na siya array 4. So, iyang gilabay ang token, ang post method. Niya ang title kay test. O niya blog. Kay mara mo itong i-type, right? So, nakita na to, meaning, what we have submitted in the form are actually saved properly. And it's being saved under the request. Alright, so at least kabalo na tanga, there is data that's being passed over. So what we would need to do now is we'll go ahead and try to validate whether the inputs are actually sakto based on how you structure it in the database. So what you would need to do as convention is just go ahead and create a variable data. Alright, and then you made use of the request. So, meaning, ang data nga nasa request, may itong gusto nga hugaw-hugawan, bitaw i-manipulate. And then, use the single pointer, so that would be validate. So, ang mahitabo rin napita karon is, we will try to validate the contents kung sakto ba siya. Alright? And then, daghan man ta, no? Diba, daghan man tag kanang sige na ni, daghan man tag fields. We have title and content. So, ato na siyang i-array. Alright? Ato na siyang i-array. So, that means to say, ato na siyang i-enter kaya para makasugod ta diha. So, naatay title. Okay? Unsa may gusto nimo nga mahitabo sa title? Dapat ba required? So, kung gusto kang required, you just type in required. Meaning, kung wala siya input mo error siya. Right? I hope klaro na siya. Ganahan ba kang nga unique ang imuhang title? Meaning, dili siya pwede nga kung nagbutang na kag first blog, di ka pwede maka-create og another blog ng title kay first blog ihapon. So, kung ganahan ka nga unique siya, butang na siya unique nga word. Unique. Pero kung di ka ganahan kay pwede na mabalik-balik ang title. Problema, anatang tanga. Alright? So, kung mora na yung requirement nga required siya, so tangtangan na lang ng usa diha, required ra. There, sunod ato na po gani content. Di ba? Kay content man to no, si title o si content. Right now, kung ganahan po kag required ra na siya, right, pasagdiin na lang na siya nga required. So, ato siyang i-save niya. Tanawon na to, unsa kay may tabo. No? Unsa kay may tabo ani kung ato ni siyang trabahoon. Ato siya ibalik sa sugod. And then, let's do create new blog. Alright, nya. Abo na tag third blog. Third blog na ni. Alright. Pero mo na sakto no. Pero ato mang i-check kung mugana ba. Atong validate. So atong i-click og save tanaw na to kung unsay posible nga mga error. Yung siya, the title field is required, the content field is required, pero ato ba di siya gitrabaho? Wala, right? This has been made automatic for us. So, say for example, nag-paste ka diha, third vlog na ni, pero nakalimot ka og butang sa title, tanaw na to, dinitabo. Alright. So, if you could notice, no? So, if you could notice, ni error ang ibabaw. However, bati kaayo kay imong content na erase pod. Right? So, unsaon man nimo nga ang erase or dili ang erase or ang content nga mo gi-submit ganhina kay dili mo wala. So, doon na po'y code ano mo balik ta sa create. Asa man nato siya trabahoon. Nga itong trabaho na ni is before sa placeholder, actually bisan asa na siya, you can just go ahead and add in value. Alright? And inside the value, you can go ahead and put in the double. And then you use the old nga function. Old nga title. Alright? So, ato na lang siyang kopyaon. And then, ato po siya ibutang diri dapita. Nya, ilisa na to siya content. Alright? Kay para, ang mahitabuan ni is that whenever, say for example, nakalimot ka sa title niya, third vlog na ni. Alright? And nakalimot ka sa title, ini-click na mo save ana, ma-recover, wait, ano ma-recover? Content. It's supposed to actually recover, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Na mo work ba siya sa si right. Okay. Ay, title. Ano mga title man ni? Sige, kadot sa submit or na-retain man niya no sa title sa tanawon kasi nakitabo ka sa usa. Third vlog na ni. Ay, sorry. Mo din na save kay text area. Okay. So sa text area di wala na siya attribute nga value, no? Dapat di ay dili na siya attribute nga value. Ang mahitabo sa text area kay imo siya ibutang diri sa tunga sa text area. Mo ni nakapait sa text area karon pa ko nakahinumdum. Ang text area di ay ang value niya is not right here but in between sa text area, no? Na siya opening text area, closing text area. So, if ato ni i-try karon balik, sure na ko nga muganan ni siya. There. Alright, so napagyapon ang third vlog na ni. Right? So that means to say, naka-remember siya sa akong last. So that, when I click on save, sa rin mahitabo, yan i-process. Pero ay mahitabo, kaya pa man nato siya properly kanang process ang request. So, arita balik sa admin blog controller. Alright? So, ang atong gusto is that ma-store naman ni siya. No? Ma-store na ni siya sa blog. So, para ma-store ni siya sa blog, what we would need to do is to, again, go ahead and call blog. Alright? So, you would need to call that. That should be right under the data. right? And what you would need to go ahead and do is to actually create. Do create, right? And what you would need to do here is to pass the data inside. So kana si data, mura na ibutang di adapita karon. Alright? Right. Normally, ang buhaton ng practice is that i-store pa nimo siya variable. Pero let's go ahead and check if mugana na ba siya. Alright? So, ito na siyang i-check later kung mugana na ba na siya. But of course, we would need to call in a particular route, or we could also call in a particular nga gitawag na to nga say nga nani gitawag na to nga view. Now, kung motawag ra tag view dayon, that means to say ato na po ni siyang tawagon, no? Nya magbalik-balik ta. Nya di ba the goal that we're doing method based here is kay para create once, run all. So that means to say after creating the data here or the blog, we cannot really use the return view, but instead ang atong gusto nga mahitabo is that kung mahuman na siya, iyang tawgon ni si blogs nga route, no? Iyang tawgon si blogs nga route kay para ang mahitabo ani is ma-refresh ang imong table nga gi-create ganhina. So question is, how do we go ahead and do that? So, di ba, naanad na matag return view, no? So, right now, that will still be return, but it's not going to be view anymore. That would be return redirect. That means to say, nga inikahuman, redirect to another route or another page. So, right now, I'll just go ahead and do the route. Kaya mo na pinaka dali, no? So, unsa man nga route akong tawgon, kato akong gi-create nga mo adto siya ni admin index. Kay para ang mahitabuan ni iyan ning tawgon, no? Kini ang tawgon, ini ka man store tawgon ani so magawas to si admin blogs nga home. All right. So there. So let's go ahead and save. Yeah, right now we'll try to refresh this. So, ang expectation ani is that after nato siya ma-continue, dapat nibalik siya sa ato ang home or katong index sa blogs. And that ma-add na tong ikatulo. So, if you could notice, the third blog has been added. Alright? The third blog has been added. Now, in the event nga ganahan ka, nga naa siya murag notation or notification nga na probably added na ba siya, mura siya dunay murag notification something something, no? What you can do is we could basically add a note here, no? Mura siya mong addan. Pwede ka mo add additional. Yeah, you can call the width. And then you have two options here. Unsay name sa variable. Price na diri ganina pero kay view man na siya mo na mogamit kay ana, but right now since it's redirect dapat pakapinan nimo siya og variable. Alright, status. You could say that blog has been successfully saved. Alright. So, what's going to happen here is this. Kay di ba inig-route niya kay adto man siya ni index, no? So meaning ari ka diri ni admin, sakto ba ni? Adto ta ni asa man to home. Alright, ari ta ni home. Atong buhaton diri dapita is that it depends upon you kung asa nimo siya gusto makita, no? Normally there are some programmers who would put in the notification here, or usahay kay adto po sila sa gawa sa card. But in here, pwede ra gyud naara siya sa sulod dire, no? Kamo na bahala bisan asa siya ibutang. Alright. So ang imong buhaton ani is you would go ahead and call a say tawag na to ana murag particular, no? Atong i-check whether kanang there is a variable nga ang name kay status. Alright? So, para makuha na nato, we can just go ahead and search that. So, Laravel display variable in blade passed by redirect. Alright, so gusto nimo siya i-display dapita. So, ang imo ra kuno ding buhaton is either you can go ahead and do for each, pero di kay ko ganahan mo gamit og for each. Mangita ratang murag nindot-nindot diri dapita sa blade. Okay. Murag wa pa jud ko ganahin. Dita ana kay not so common. Sakto man tayo yung linya. Okay, natin murag ko Laravel passing. Alright, sige, kinakalimot ko. Mutanaw lang sa atong kuan, atong code before. I'll try to open, not SMIS. Oh, okay, pwede rin sa SMI, ano daw. I'll try to open one of the codes kay nakalimot ko sa particular yung link. So, I'll just open RMS. That should be right under applications and then index. So, ang nahitabo ra gid ani is kini, no? Kopyaon ra yan ako nga code. Mubalik ko diri. Right, ako siyang isuksok diri dapita. So, unsa may naa diri dapita karon? Ang nahitabo ra gid ana is that kung makamatikod siya nga dunay session nga status, ang status is mao to tong gilabay, no, Lara? So, si status, ang iyang buhaton karon is iyang i-display ang status. Pero iya siyang i-display under alert. So kini sila makita ra nimo siya sa admin LTE na ni didto. Ang gibuhat is ako na siyang gi-copy, no? So ari na siya diha dapita, no, sa admin LTE. Ari na siya sa mga element. No modals and alerts. Pero murag bati kay siya dapita. Model, what man ni alert? Sige, tataglain. Wala siya murag alert. Dara, alert. Okay, so, mura na siya, no? So, kung ato na i-open kay, ingani rin siya style. Pero ako gipangtangan og extra kay di ko ganahan kaayo sa additional nga mga option. Alright? No? Ako ra na siyang gikopya, no? So, ari ba ka ko ni alert dismissible nga danger? Pero ang gipili ato is not really di kay status save man. So, green gina siya, meaning that was successfully done. Alright? So, ako ra na siyang gikopya diha dapita. Sa to. Alright. So, ari man ta sa success, pwede ra jud og ato na siyang kopyaon padong diha. Alright? Unya here, okay, so pwede og ato i-compare. No? So dool-dool lagi na siya. Pero ako lang yung giada na auto close, but the rest are just really the same. Mora na siya. Pero ato na lang giadan og variable katong value sa status, no, atong gi-display di dapita. So unsa may mahitabuan na karon? So when we are going to create a new blog, say for example, this is fourth blog nani. Alright, I'll try to save it. take a look as to what's going to happen. It says here blog has been successfully saved. So there's a notification. That is because of what we did. Right? We added, so if session, all right, status is basically the one that we throw, no? Kanang status. And then inside it, okay, nagamit tag alert, that we just copied from the admin LTE. And then inside it, no, sa div, right after button, we called in session again and we called status. Alright? So that kung unsa tong gilabay nga value, maupod ang iyang i-display. Kung ato ni i-refresh, mawala na ni siya. Kaunya raman ni siya mugawas whenever we're creating a blog. No? So, fifth blog. Alright, save. So there's your notification. Blog has been successfully saved. And we have 5 blogs already. So if I want to go ahead and go to the guest page, no, without the admin, I would see that there are already 5 blogs that are being actually added. However, if we talk about blogs, 'di ba? Normally, ang kina-recent nan, ang dapat nga naa sa ibaba. But if you could notice here, ang kinakaraanan ang naa sa ibabaw, no? So what we can do is we can modify that. Because that's really the truth of display for blogs. Kung say recent, may nasa babaw. Alright. So for us to be able to modify that, we go to the blog controller, katong daily admin but guest only, and we'll make modifications in here. So what we can do is instead of all, we can go ahead and put in order by, yung unsa man nga order by imuha. So that would be, unsa tong gamiton? Created at, of course, ascending or descending. So that's descending. And then, kay nagamit mag-order by, we'll go ahead and call get. So let's take a look and see if mugana ba siya diri, or else we need to look for a different mechanism. So, if you could notice, na-change na siya, no? First blog, second blog, third blog, fourth blog. And if you also would want nga iyahang display kay kuan, kung unsay recent na sa ibabaw, pwede na po na to siya modify. We will do the same thing, no? So if you could notice, ato siya gisumpayan. So ari ka sa admin blog controller, ari ra po ka diri dapita. So imo na siya himuon nga order by capital B, and then that would be created at, so that's the timestamp, and then that would be DSC, and then of course you add get. Ganhin nga wala man to na get because we made use of all. But karon kay no do naman tayo mura gitawag nga kanang option such as order by, you know. So we can no longer make use of the all. So for us to be able to pull the data right after you've added some additional instruction, which is to order it by created at DSC, and that's the reason why you always need to put in a get. Alright, so I hope naklaro ta dedapita. Now, this other na si created at. When you go back to the database, under sa blogs nga table, you would see nga naa DICI created at, no? That was automatically created. Mo na ang gi-create nga timestamp, no? Automatic siya created at og updated. And if you could notice, si kana siya is automatically added for the third blog, fourth blog, fifth blog. Automatically na create na siya based on the insertion of the data. So ingana kaway labad ang Laravel, no? It's being made easier for everyone. So again, what happened is that we change it kining sa atong admin. So we go to here and refresh, tanawa na to unsay porma kung na-arrange pa siya. So na-arrange na siya. So we already have the fifth blog on top, as compared to the first blog, which is already at the bottom. All right. So that is how we are or we can create a new blog. So that was such a long tutorial basically because we've covered all the basics and everything that you would need to actually remember, or to familiarize in being able to create the code for that matter. All right. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I will upload this video, of course, later on to our Google Classroom. So in our Google Classroom, I've already added, if I'm not mistaken, nag-add na ko dito o kanang ubay-ubay, no? So if I'll go to web dev, you should be able to see nga katong atong gidiscuss last or yesterday is already uploaded, and katong gi-discuss na to first part katong installation is already uploaded nya, katong pag-create sa sample blog nga guest facing is also uploaded, and then later on you will see another entry, and that is create blog or create the blog dashboard and or blog dashboard nya, create a blog nga demonstration. All right, and what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I will push all those updates that I made para you will be able to see this in GitHub. So what I will do now is I will push kay mao man yung mga changes nga nabuhat, no? So I will push this. So I'll just say this is update admin blog create. So you need to be very say tawag na to ana descriptive what you are doing. So commit to main and then push origin. All right. So there. So if you will try to visit my GitHub, no, ato ka ni GitHub hub.com/Fernando. You should be able to see the what we call as the my blog. You go to repositories, you should be able to see that it's already updated. That's the latest from what I've coded, so that you will have a reference, or probably kana mga tapulan kaayo nga mukopya, no, pwede ra kayo na ninyo siya kopyaon. But I would really suggest that you will not gitawag na to nga just copy and paste lang, because that would kind of mura siya makuhaan inyong, or murag makuhaan yung ability to really be able to create the code because you just copied it, no? So mas nindot nga you really would need to input or to type in everything para murag ma-practice ang kamot, no, on how to be able to do that. So aside from that, I would also need to tell everyone that again, please download GitHub desktop. So first you would need to um, basically ang yung buhaton na ni is mag-create mo GitHub account. All right, after creating a GitHub account, you would need to download the GitHub desktop. So that's GitHub desktop. So inyo ra na siya i-download, no, nag-download na install. Inig-install na kay mangutan na siya mo login ba ka. So mo login ka gamit ang katong login nga imong gi-create, katong account nga imong gi-create. So unsa na may mahitabuan na once na nakay kanang maka-download na ka, all you have to do is basically create a repository, no? So murag ang mahitabuan na is murag ing ani, no? Murag kog click og add, or kung doon option diri to create one, click on create new repository. Yang mahitabuan na is dahil kung unsay name sa imong folder diri, mora mo ibutang diri sa babaw. So ayun na siya sumpayi. So meaning kung blog na siya, blog po na siya. Kung I mean kung unsay name sa folder. So kung ako ang folder kay my blog man, so that means to say my blog po akong i-type. So if you could notice the English ano nga kanang it's already a get repository. Okay, it's already existing. So giunsa din ako pag-create si my blog. So na-create si my blog. Let's go ahead and okay, so lahi na yung style di dapita. Din ako kakita. Pero ang mahitabuan is it's really like that, no? So when you click on add, create new repository, all you have to do is kinahanglan nga inyong local path is asa inyong htdocs. Nya kung gusto mo nga inyong ihimo nga repository is kato si my blog or si blog ba for example. So ang inyo na lang buhaton ana is you type in my blog. Kay mo automatic na siya. Si blog gani kay dili na ko ka-create. Ay, ako din gi-delete si blog na ko karon. Mura ako siyang gi-blogs. Alright. So may tabuan ni is adto siya magstay ni htdocs niya blog siya. Pero kaya na naman mag-create katong my blog, all you have to do is type in my blog. No? Unya, pasagdiin ng htdocs niya, butangin lang na siya description and then create repository. Naragi na siya sa ka-simple. Alright, so ingana na siya ka-simple no niya. Kung ganahan mo nga, murag mo copy mo or mo clone mo sa available nga mga projects nako, actually pwede ra pud kaayo, pwede ra ka maingon og clone no, clone repository nya mga ira siya link. Ari ka sa URL kay dili man na inyo ha, no? So for example, I wanna go ahead and clone no sa Aqua for example inyong i-clone charing. For example, let's have na ba ko'y search gen? Let's take, ako sa tanaan ako na ba ko'y search gen para siya murag mo duplicate. So, xampp, htdocs, murag, tanaan ako ang wala ko ni exist. Alright. For example, smiss. So, what I can do is, I can go ahead and copy smiss there. Or not really copy, but open it. Alright. What I need to do is I'll go ahead and click on code here so that I can get the URL. So I'll copy that. Nikaw man ako copy diha. That paste here. Sorry. I-paste na ko dapita. Alright? And then clone. So akong mga gipanghimo nga code kay pwede ra nyo kopyaon. Para you can probably take a look at the VS Code or so on and so forth. So by the way, if you're trying to clone a particular site, what you would need to do is ni-clone na niya no. So ang inyong buhaton ana is pura kang mag-install mo ng imong i-change ang .env, imo na po siyang uh, composer update, composer install. Nya paghuman kay you need to do the migration. Alright. So right now the SMIS you cannot really install on your end because the SMIS that I've created is not gitawag na to nga friendly with the migration because the SMIS is an update to our old SM or MIS. So it has database tables already. So wala na siya migration. So when you try to create that or to download it, you will have an issue kaya dili na siya mo run successfully. But that is how you go ahead and kind of clone, for example, if you wish to go ahead and clone, no? Or kanang clone kaya nagkopyaon mo good nimo. And if you have the right to push, pwede na mo siya i-push depending kung akong i-accept. Mo ni nakanindot sa GitHub kas pwede bitaw in a team, pwede nga si Charles kakong patrabahoon ani nga kating siya mo trabaho sa gitawag na to nga front end katong sa guest facing or si Russell ang mo trabaho sa admin particularly katong naa sa blogs or Si Angke ang motrabaho sa admin nga users. So, what can happen is that you can go ahead and, one file under GitHub, and then there are three users doing it, and all the other users will just push so that they will be able to save the changes, merge those changes, but everyone is making or doing the coding on their own. So mo ni naka-nindot sa GitHub kay dili kinahanglan nga usa ka mo computer kay para mag-edit mo, no. The GitHub would allow you nga usa ka project being worked on by multiple nga users. Only that dili mo magdungan og trabaho sa usa ka file mo na nga um nay mo trabaho sa particular nga feature, na mo trabaho sa lain nga feature. So murag mo na murag goal diha dapita. All right. So say for example, you'll go ahead and try making modifications. Mo na nga inyo na lang i-commit to main. So right now, wala ko ma-commit kay wala pa mo changes. However, even the slight change here, say for example, ako na siya mong gets or himo na ko siyang S, ako na siya i-save. Take a look, ni automatic na siya, no? Nga doon ay change niya. Imo na lang nang basta usa na naka-file, pwede ka mo commit to change or commit to main, pero kung pwede na daghana, mo na nga magbutang-butang kag message diha. Pero di na ko siya i-commit kay kanang wrong mo na siya. Alright, so get na siya. O nawa siya, no? Kay wala naman siya changes nga nakita. Alright, so that's about it. Okay, so your goal for today is to be able to finish everything starting from katong guest facing up until the create new blog. All right, so everything is uploaded, so please just go ahead and go through it, go through the video, and then you could also you can go through my GitHub and then look for my blog there. The codes are there for you to refer, not copy, just refer. Pero kung tapulan mo, wag ito mahimo ano kay mga technique man mo. All right. So that's about it. So good luck everyone. Again, the goal is to be able to finish right particularly on the create, so that whenever we have a chance that we will conduct a class, we'll do the delete, we'll also do the edit, so that you would have an idea as to ingana din na siya, so that we could proceed working with the user, no. Okay, wala pa man ta user diri, ang nahitabuan ni kay blog pa man ni siya nya, tuduan pud ta mo unsaon nga ma-disable si register, kay anyone can just go ahead and create an account, right? Or kung mag-create mo ganing account, pwede o gamaan siyang mechanism nga ang account ka na-create is only a regular user. That means to say that user cannot proceed with deletion or whatnot, so on and so forth. Alright, so that's going to be our coverage on the next meeting. So again, please make sure nga at the end of the day, you will be able to finish starting from the installation, going to creating the guest view, and then creating the admin view, particularly on the blog create new. Right? That's about it. Thank you everyone. Good luck. Enjoy.